Thank you. Can I have my desktop then? Thank you.
Okay, great, Constança.
Thank you. Okay, great. So hello everybody. Just to tell you a few words before I start with the European Environment Agency. I'm not sure if you're aware of who we are, but we are a European Union agency that we support member states in the implementation of policy, environmental and climate policy, and also we make assessments of the state of the marine environment. Of the environment, and I work in particular with the marine environment. So this project of Marine Letter Watch is a project that we developed a little bit of a novel approach to us, where we try to combine citizen science together with modern technology. And we've been developing it since last year, throughout 2013, and we just launched it very recently to the public, but I'll go there. So just to tell you something about the main aims. So since our main objective is to make assessments, we need data for our assessments. So our main objective with this project is to help filling data gaps on beach litter, in particular for supporting policy implementation, as I said, and we are in this case talking about the Marine Strategy Framework Directive and also the assessments that we do here in-house. And I don't know how familiar you are with the Marine Strategy Framework Directive, but it's currently being implemented by member states. And the objective is to reach good environmental status of European seas by 2020. And it brought an obligation to member states to monitor marine litter in particular, since marine litter is considered a main pressure for reaching good environmental status. So filling data gaps is the main core of this. But we also want to collaborate with existing communities and as well as provide a setup for new ones to emerge for these who would like to collect data on beach litter. We also want to explore the benefits of involving citizens in such activities, and also in this wider objective of supporting a collective approach to managing marine litter, which engages not only with government bodies, with industry, with citizens. So I think there's a lot of parallels that can be established with the objective as well of this waste week. Now the concept. It feels that getting these surveys on the beach using paper forms is something from the past, and very rapidly its use of modern technology such as applications on mobile phones will be the future in getting this type of data. So building on this, the concept around the Marine Letter Watch has three main components. It's the application itself on the mobile phone. Then the communities around it, which will organize to collect the data and use the mobile app, which will then send the data to a database, which is basically hosted by us, but the data is publicly available. And with time, we hope to build information that will allow us to build trends or to assess what's happening in terms of the amount and composition of litter, marine litter, on beaches throughout Europe. And we hope that the time will also engage people in having a discussion about this and triggering actions on the data, on the information that we're putting out. So how does it work? Well, basically, we are not aiming at individual citizens, but rather to have two communities. And when I say communities, they're also very similar to what this Communities for the European Cleanup Day are. Except we're not so much targeting public authorities per se, but rather citizen communities. And the idea was not just targeting individuals, although they can join it, because we believe that the potential of communities in terms of what they can do and data collection and organizing is much bigger. So either you can join or create a community, and if you have a community already that you can register with us, and then Alberto will say a little bit about that after me, but you get listed in our communities. Then you set up an event, which can be monitoring or cleanup, and I will say something about this just after this. Then you carry out a survey on the beach on the day, and what you see here is a snapshot of the application. And basically, the application is a list of items, of marine litter items, and this list has been it's a European list that has been standardized across Europe throughout last year, basically, because as a support for the Marine Strategy Framework Directive, a group of experts all across Europe was established to develop these guidelines, a protocol, which would be a harmonized approach to collecting this. So this is a list that has been harmonized, and it's very visual, as you can see. And basically, on the day of the survey, the number of items that you find and the type of items that you find, you just tap into the outcome and you see. And then you send the data to us, and in time then we will build these data sets, and this will all be publicly available, as I said. Now, just a small note on monitoring versus cleanup events, because I know what we're talking here about is a big cleanup event on the 10th of May or around that. But as I said in the beginning, our idea is very much to get data which can be policy relevant, and this means it has to follow some guidelines if this is to happen. And this link, we have a link here to these guidelines. These are what this technical group of experts was developing last year. And these are guidelines not just for beach litter, but also for floating litter on the water, and also litter on the seafloor. So the app is set in a way, and I won't go into that, but the app is set in a way that you can actually choose if you want to do monitoring or a cleanup event. And the only difference is that in monitoring, you'll have to follow these guidelines. The communities have to have a more structured approach to it. They're responsible for adopting this protocol, for quality assuring the data. And of course, there's some capacitation needs here in terms of how to train these survey coordinators and managers. But we're focusing more on the cleanup. So as I said, we launched it officially at this conference organized by the Commission, by Beach Environment, at the beginning of March, HOPE conference, Health, the Oceans, Productive Ecosystems. And what we have now is an Android version available, but and Alberto will say something about this as well, but we're just on the verge of publishing our iPhone and iPad version. And we'll also have this web interface, which will allow for communities to kind of control their data and quality assurance. I have here the link if you want to know more about Watch and more information and guidelines on how to use it and everything. Now, this is my last slide. So the next step is we're very much this is a tool that we are putting out there. So now what we need is we're trying to get into communities to use it and promote a strategic uptake. We cannot go into all communities, as you may imagine. But we've been talking with, for example, Surfrider, who are very much interested. Bjarke from Keep Denmark Tidy, it's a pity that he didn't come before me, but we are very much connecting to them, and for the European cleanup day, actually, the setting in Denmark. Hopefully Phil can come back on that. But we also have partners in Greece, in the UK, the Netherlands, and Portugal. The other part is that we need to foster these synergies and this knowledge exchange, not just with communities, but between policymakers, our own network of countries, experts, so this group I was talking about, NGOs, public. And actually, we haven't put the industry so much in it right now. But what I can see is that by linking to this European cleanup thing, there's actually this potential with your network, which involves these waste management companies, and it involves the public authorities. So in the end, we didn't when we developed this, we didn't know about the European cleanup thing. As I said, it's a project already with years of development. So, but I see now a lot of potential to connect and see how this can go about. Because in the end, I saw a bit of your the form that you presented for these activities. It's about quantifying what people will be already doing on the beach, and then hopefully start building some data around that. So it's tapping into that potential. But what's really important is that we just start collecting the data and explore the results, and this is a very much learning by doing approach, which will depend, of course, on the uptake by the community. So I won't take you more time. These are the contacts that you need. Myself and my colleague Melina Boone are leading on this project. And if you have any questions on how to use it, how to set up, and there's this general email. So I'll leave the floor here.
Thank you, Constança. And as the following presentation is very much connected to this one, if you don't mind, to give the floor to Alberto, and then they can join ask session together, if you don't mind. So we will move to Alberto's presentation, Alberto Telletxea from Bilbomática, which will present the application. Alberto?
Hello everyone, how are you? Yeah, I will just give you an overview of the application. As it is now published, publicly available on Android, you can access to the Google Play. Just search for Marine Litter Watch, and if you have an Android device, you will be able to download the application. That platform will do everything for you, not anything special required to install the application, just to have an Android device and a smartphone or tablet, and with the Android operating system. Just a few elements to keep in mind when you first install the application. The first will be that the first time that you install the application, it takes a bit of time, because there is a lot of data to be downloaded. All of the items and... Hello, you hear me?
Yeah, fine.
Hi, you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you very well.
Okay, thank you very much. Then just take in mind that the application takes time the first time that it is installed, because there is data that is downloaded into the device, like all the items, all the classification of the items that the user will be able to collect, waste items, surveys for different communities, beaches, and so on. Then another thing that you have to take into account that for most of the operations of the application, you will need to internet connection through 3G or Wi-Fi, or even 4G in case that countries that they have enabled already this system. There is only one operation that the application enables to work offline. This is the surveying, when the user is collecting items. And in that moment, if imagine that you are in a beach that is in a very remote area and there is no internet connection or any 3G connection, then you can save your survey on. You can save the survey on locally offline, and then when you already are in an area where there is already internet connection, you can then submit your survey into the EA central system. Another last thing to keep in mind on the installation of the application is the best you can is to keep your Android system updated. I will go through the basic operations of the application very straightforward. Just remind you that in order to log into the application and start to join communities, start to create beaches, events, surveys, you have to be before log into or have a user in the most important social networks, Google+, Facebook, and Twitter. If you don't have these users already set up, it's not possible to log into the application. This is the other functionality to give an overview is the creation of pitch. This is an online functionality, and you will be able to specify the location of the section of the pitch that you or other participants will act in the surveying and the item collection. The application gives you a guideline to state the 2 points of that section of the beach where the survey will take place in 100 meters, but you can make it, you can use a bigger distance. But as a guideline, the application gives you the distance of 100 meters. Also, you can provide additional information as the type of fish, that you are working with. Also, the event, you can create an event assigned to a beach, of course, and also you can include the date of the event, when it starts, when it's finalized, and, for example, the number of participants. And this is the functionality, I think the most critical functionality for the user of the mobile application is how to start a survey. Then, as I explained before, this functionality can be done offline and online. In order to start a survey, an event code is required. Then, someone of the community, mostly the administrator, has to provide to the users that they will participate, generating service, the event code. Then the user will be able to access to a waste items classified by different categories. Then also the user will able to add more items to that list that is provided 20 list of items, the most common 20 list of items to facilitate the counting. And a very important thing to keep in mind then when there are three states for the surveys: red, yellow, and green. Red surveys means that the user has saved in the device the survey but has not been submitted on the EA central system. Yellow is when the survey has been already submitted to the EA, but it still can be edited. There is a period of 20 days where when the survey can be edited. After those 28 days, the survey cannot be edited anymore and pass into a green state where is let's say consolidated into the EA central system. The last functionality to comment that I think is crucial is that the users, when they are logged, they can be joined to a community. In order to join to the community, a community code has to be provided prior to the user by the for example the community administrator. Without this community code, it's not possible a person to join to a community. And as Constança said, nice things coming on Marine Litter Watch during this month, in this month, April 2014. There will be a web app, and the application will be also available on App Store for iPhones and iPads. This is everything that I wanted to tell you, and if you want to have any questions, I will be glad to answer you.
Thank you, Alberto. Now it's time for questions for both Constança and Alberto, concentrating on this very interesting initiative and application. So, floor is questions. Hope every one of you has already downloaded this application. I have it in my phone. So, no questions? So, if there are no questions, we will move back. Just a minute, we will have no questions. Hey, Nikolai?
Okay.
Very low.
Okay, I just want to ask if this application can work on computer, but not only on tablet and mobile phone.
Yes. Well, yes. The application will have a web version that it will be published on the EA website, and from there you can also use it from any computer with internet connection.
It's not necessary to have Android on the computer.
No. It's not. It's just with any regular browser, with Chrome, Internet Explorer, Firefox.
Jeg skal lige være færdig med det her, så sætter vi os ned med Cecilie.
Thank you very much.
Any further questions? If there are no further questions, we'll move